Hello, my name is Sarah Chamberlain, and I'm part of the Osher at Dartmouth staff. Welcome to part 5 of our video tutorial series on accessing your online course folder. This series is designed to help you learn how easy it can be to access and work with the materials you find in your online folder. Some of the terms and instructions I provide within this session reference topics covered in previous sessions in this series, and if they prove confusing to you, you may want to check out one of those earlier sessions, which are available on the Osher at Dartmouth website and on our YouTube channel. In our last session, I showed you the basics of navigating through your course folder as well as through each individual item in your folder, available in preview mode. We skipped over a few items in preview mode, however, so we're going to cover that in this session. Today I'm going to show you how you can print and download your course documents if you can't or don't wish to work with them online. When you have an active internet connection, your course folder is a handy place to review documents, as the item will stay in your internet browser and doesn't take up any permanent space on your computer's memory or your mobile device's memory, such as your iPad or your mobile phone. However, if you have unreliable internet service or a signal, but you still want to be able to use the materials in your online folder, you can choose to download some or all of your course documents and files, which means you're saving a copy of that item to your computer. You can then open that item whether you have an active internet connection or not. You can also choose to print your course documents and files directly from your online folder if you want to have a physical copy to refer to as needed. So let's get started. I'm going to open the Google Chrome browser on my computer right from here. And as in previous sessions, we created a bookmark for the folder that I'm working with, which is right up here at the top of the screen. Clicking that once opens the folder. And we're utilizing the materials from a spring 2014 term course called A Sense of Place. And you can see those items right here. I want to begin by reminding you that only the Osher at Dartmouth office staff and your study leader have the ability to change the contents of your course folder. So as a class participant, while you can read, open, and review all of these items, don't worry that you're ever doing anything that would adversely affect the contents of the folder. Anything I show you today only affects how you receive and work with the folder, but it won't cause any changes for your fellow class participants or your study leader. So let's take a closer look at one of the items on our screen, and I'm going to use this first item here, the welcome packet. Single click opens it up in preview mode. We covered the navigation buttons that surround the edges of this screen, and we missed these items last time. Today we're going to talk about them. So the first item is open. And you may think we already have our document open down here, and in a way we do, but it's open in preview mode. This means that a preview panel is displaying our document on top of our course folder, which you can sort of see through the haze right here. If I want to return to my folder, I have to close out of preview mode. And the nice thing about the open option is that it opens the document, and I'm going to click once to do that now. It opens the document in a whole new page or tab of your browser. So up here at the top of my screen, you can see that there are two different tabs. This first tab is our document in preview mode, and while this other tab looks like the same thing, if I were to try to close this document, there's no way to do that. All I'd have to do to close it is to close the tab itself by clicking the little X right there. If I wanted to get back to the folder here, I can just hit the close right there. And I'm just going to show you one other thing. If I were to open this and open it in that new window, I can keep it open in this new tab or window, return to this one, and close it here to continue working with my course folder. So I have this item open in this tab, but I can still go to the other items in my course folder if I wish. So this is quite handy, especially if you have multiple items that you need to look at and review at one time in your folder. So for now I'm just going to close that out and return. So that shows you what open can do. Now let's look at the next item we can use, which is the print icon right here. When you click print, two things happen. The document opens once again in a new page, but you also get this covering pop-up window, which may look different on your computer depending on which browser you're using or how your printer is set up with your computer. By the way, just a quick note, if you see a pop-up screen containing a warning about Adobe Reader at any time, you can either choose to trust the document enough to continue on to the print mode. If you don't trust the document and you don't want to continue, you can quit and then contact the office to get a copy of the document that you were trying to print. By agreeing to the Adobe Reader warning, you're just simply letting the computer know you trust the document that you're working with enough to continue on to print. You should be able to trust the documents that you find in your course folder, but if you're uncomfortable about it, by all means, quit out of it. Don't continue on to printing if you don't wish to, and just get in touch with the office to get the materials you're looking at. But if you do continue on and you allow the content, you'll be taken to your print dialog. And from here, you just need to make sure that all of the printing options appear as you wish. This is going to the printer that's set up in my office computer, so I know that's accurate. I know how many copies I want, just the one. This is a standard paper size. I'm printing in color, or I can print in black and white. I can tell it to fit the document onto one page, so each page will print onto one single page. And if I'm ready from here, I just click print, and it should be sent to my printer. I don't need to print this, so I'm just going to cancel out of it. If you don't want to print your document, but you're afraid that lack of an internet connection might prevent you from working with your course documents at some point, you may want to instead use the download option. So as I said, when we clicked the print option, we opened this document in a new window. I'm just going to close out of the window, and we're back at our document. So right next to print is the download option I'm talking about. Download allows you to save a copy of the document or file to your computer. But before we really get started with downloading, I want to caution you that documents will tend to download in their original format, or may sometimes offer you the option to change the format that you want to download. For example, if you're working with a Word document, it will download as a Microsoft Word document, and an Excel spreadsheet will download as an Excel spreadsheet. If you download an item and you don't own a copy of the program that created it, you're not going to be able to open the file that you've saved, and you'll instead have to stick with using it in the online folder only. If it's in the online folder, it doesn't matter what format it's in, you should be able to read through. If you've downloaded it to your computer and you don't own a copy of the program, that's when you're going to run into trouble accessing the file. You should make sure that you have the ability to work with a file before you begin downloading it to your computer. And in the case of PDFs, which are present in a lot of our course folders, I'm going to urge you to download the current version of Adobe's Acrobat Reader. If you don't own the full version of Acrobat, Acrobat Reader is a free program that's available on their website, adobe.com. It allows you to open and read PDF files, and many of our study leaders utilize PDF files in their course folders. When you're ready to download an item, it just takes coming up here and clicking that download button, and the download begins. Since I'm working in the Google Chrome browser, when I select download, the document is going to open up. This little pop-up menu will open, and you can see a little button that shows the document. Usually there's a little progress status button that sort of spins around, and when it's complete it usually shows me what file type there is. When it's finished, I can immediately open this document by just clicking once on that button. And you can see that it's open in a new tab. The file, even though it's opening in a new tab in my browser, it's actually saved to my computer. It's just using this tab for convenience. The document itself has probably been saved to my downloads folder, and before I quit working with it, I can actually find it on my computer. I'm using a Mac, so I just open up my Finder window, and I have a little downloads button right here on the left. Clicking on that shows me everything that I've downloaded recently, and that document appears right here at the top of my list. If I want to open that in Adobe Reader, this is how it would look in Acrobat Reader. And from here I can click File, and then I could save it to a new location on my computer if I wanted to. I can even change the format, but if I just wanted to save it as a PDF, I could pick a new location, like my desktop, or if I've set up another folder somewhere, I could pick it then. And I'm just going to save and quit out of Acrobat for now. And we're going to go back to Chrome. If you're working with a PC, instead of Finder, you probably would want to go to your Start menu and then select Computer to view the contents of your hard drive, and then you should be able to select the Downloads folder in the window that pops up. When you've finished working with the downloaded copy of your document, you'll still have it open in your browser, as you can see here. I'm just going to close this and return to the document in preview mode. The last option in preview mode is the three dots that are located next to download. This More Actions option provides users the chance to give feedback on the document you're viewing. If you have a Google account and you're looking at this document while you're logged into Google, it'll give you the chance to offer feedback, whether positive or negative, but we're not logged in, so all we're going to see is the option to report abuse. I just want to caution you that you should only use this option if you feel that the content of the document you're looking at is offensive or inappropriate. We don't believe you'll ever encounter this type of content in your course folder. We ask, though, if you do, that you please consider communicating with your study leader or contacting the office before utilizing the report abuse option, as reports of this nature could have a negative impact on our entire organization's use of Google Drive for all of our course and committee materials. So this could have far-reaching consequences beyond the document you're looking at. We are not telling you not to use it, but please only use it when absolutely necessary, and please consider getting in touch with us before you use it. And that last menu item completes our review of the options available in preview mode. I'm closing out of the folder and returning to our presentation. And those are the basics of working with documents in your course folder. As you become more familiar with this method of receiving your course materials, you'll find it easier and easier to remember the simple shortcuts to review, download, and print your course materials. And that concludes our video tutorial series on accessing your course folder. I hope these sessions have provided you with some useful information, and don't forget that if you have any comments or suggestions, please contact the Osher at Dartmouth office via email by clicking on or contacting us at osher@dartmouth.edu. You can also give us a call at 603-646-0154. Thanks for watching, and